Oh boy, the plot thickens. It seems like Mike Tyson's new training footage for the Jake Paul fight has sent shockwaves through the boxing world, and some of the biggest names in the sport are reportedly terrified by what they've seen.
Look at this.
Right.
You needed volume so you can hear this too.
Whoa.
I mean, what in the dude?
Oh my God.
Dude, he looks like old. I'm back.
But he tried to stay back from Mike. He gonna get caught. Mike is like a snake. He'll pop out on you. He get there too quick.
I think it's going to be a good fight. I mean, you know, Mike Tyson, what he does is two-dimensional. He's going to come at you, trying to knock you out. Now, you got to try and stay away from him. Stay away from his power.
First of all, he's actually fighting a guy who finally, I know he's much older than him, but is naturally the bigger guy. Because Paul fights at about cruiserweight, 190. So this guy's naturally the bigger guy. He's fighting a legendary, iconic fighter. A guy who's one of the greatest punchers in heavyweight history, one of the greatest punchers ever with either hand, and one of the greatest combinations of speed and power. Yeah, he's 58 years old. Yeah, the end of his career wasn't too good before he got out. But one of the last things that go with a fighter is his power.
Yep.
I think this is a very dangerous fight for Paul.
Interesting.
I think he might be making a mistake.
Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, and Teddy Atlas. These are guys who have seen it all in the boxing ring. They've faced off against the toughest competitors, been in the most grueling fights, and have a wealth of knowledge and experience when it comes to the sweet science. So when they're rumored to be scared by what they've seen from Tyson, you know it's serious. But before we get to that, I need your help. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. So I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and help me out. From what I've seen, the footage shows Tyson looking absolutely shredded, with the same lightning-fast speed and devastating power that made him such a force to be reckoned with in his prime. He's hitting the pads with a vengeance, and his combinations are just as crisp and ruthless as ever. It's no wonder these boxing legends are reportedly shaking in their boots. They know better than anyone just how dangerous a focused and motivated Mike Tyson can be. They've seen firsthand the destruction he can cause when he's on top of his game, and the idea of him bringing that same intensity to the ring against Jake Paul has got to be a terrifying prospect.
Listen, if Mike Tyson hits anybody, I don't care if he's 90, he's going to knock him out cold, isn't he? It's I am Mike Tyson. He's the baddest man on the planet, you know. And Jake Paul's obviously, he's very experienced now. He's had a lot of tough fights. He's had a lot of good fights. So, and he's probably a quarter of the man's age. But obviously, I have to back Mike Tyson. I'm named after the legend, and I back him.
Tyson Fury, the undefeated WBC heavyweight champion. The guy who's faced off against some of the toughest fighters in the world. And if his new training footage is enough to make a champion like Fury nervous, then maybe Jake Paul should be even more worried than we thought. It's no secret that Tyson has been working hard to get back into fighting shape. He's been training with Rafael Cordero, a renowned MMA coach, and it seems like all that hard work is paying off.
Something unbelievable to see, to be honest with you. A heavyweight guy moving like a lightweight.
The videos that have surfaced show Tyson looking focused, determined, and downright scary at times. As for Jake Paul, well, he might want to think twice about poking the bear.
No, I think Mike Tyson knows more than Jake Paul will ever know.
Well, he might know more, but that doesn't mean you might know more than Jake Paul. But
it does mean something. It means something because that's what he did as a living, and that's what he did as a living. And he was one of the greatest fighters in the world that ever did it.
Yeah, but he did it. Jake Paul does it. That counts for a lot too.
He does what?
He's a boxer, so he's
How
current
many boxers
though.
have you fought?
He's just
How
got
many
done fighting a
boxers have you
boxer. He
fought?
just got done fighting a boxer.
Exactly, 1, 2. He lost to one, and he beat.
His first 10
one.
fights, he fought tougher people than Tyson fought his first 10
Yeah,
fights.
he sure did. He fought MMA fighters that don't know nothing about boxing.
It's absolutely wild, man. Apparently, Jeff Mayweather, among others, is straight up terrified by what he's seeing. Jeff Mayweather, the uncle of boxing legend Floyd Mayweather Jr., has apparently weighed in on the fight, and he's convinced that Tyson is going to come out on top against Jake Paul. This is a pretty big endorsement considering the Mayweather family's deep roots in boxing. Jeff himself is a former professional boxer and has been involved in the sport for decades as a trainer and commentator. So, when he says he believes in Tyson's chances, it definitely carries some weight. According to Jeff, Tyson's experience and power will be too much for the younger Paul to handle. He seems to think that even at 57, Tyson has what it takes to teach the upstart YouTuber a lesson in the ring. Rumor has it that Floyd Mayweather, one of the most successful and skilled boxers of all time, is absolutely shocked by what he's seeing from Iron Mike in these new training clips.
As of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
And can you blame him? Tyson looks like an absolute beast. Jake Paul is the underdog going into this fight against a boxing legend like Mike Tyson.
Man, I think he's underestimating me. I truly think that. And it's a heavyweight fight, so, he's the bigger man, but I'm the faster man. It's a really interesting matchup. I believe I have what it takes to beat him. At the end of the day, I'm going to be the one who gets my hand raised.
There are a few advantages that the younger fighter might have up his sleeve. First off, let's talk about the age factor. Sure, experience counts for a lot in boxing, but at 27 years old, Jake's body is likely to be more resilient and quicker to recover than Tyson's 56-year-old physique. That could make a big difference in the later rounds, especially if the fight goes the distance. Another thing to consider is Jake's unorthodox fighting style. He might not have the classic technique of a seasoned pro like Tyson, but his unconventional approach could actually work in his favor. Tyson's used to fighting opponents who play by the rules, but Jake's willingness to break the mold and try new things could catch him off guard. There's also the matter of motivation. For Jake, this fight is a chance to prove himself against one of the greatest boxers of all time. He's got everything to gain and nothing to lose. Tyson, on the other hand, is fighting to protect his legacy. That kind of pressure can be a double-edged sword. It might fuel Tyson's determination, but it could also work against him if things start to go south. At the same time, you have to give credit to Jake for even taking this fight. It takes a lot of guts to step into the ring with a legend like Mike Tyson, regardless of his age. And who knows, maybe Jake's youth and athleticism will prove to be a real challenge for Tyson. It makes you wonder what's going through Jake Paul's mind right now. Sure, he's a young, confident guy with some impressive wins under his belt. But facing a rejuvenated Mike Tyson, that's a whole different ballgame.
It's day one, the fun just begun. Day two, we're getting ready for you. One, two, three, four. Day three, you still want to f with me?
You know what? I've been giving this a lot of thought, and despite all the doubts and the trash talk, I really believe that Mike Tyson is going to come out on top in this fight against Jake Paul. Sure, Jake's young and hungry, and he's been making a name for himself in the boxing world. But he hasn't got decades of experience, raw power, and a determination like Mike Tyson has. I think Tyson's going to use all that pent-up anger and frustration from Jake's disrespectful comments as fuel for the fight. He's going to channel that energy into every punch, every jab, and every uppercut. And when he connects, I have a feeling Jake's going to realize pretty quickly that he's bitten off more than he can chew.
You're going into this fight, you're nearly twice as old as this guy. Is that an advantage for him? Younger, faster, although you looked like you were on your A game in the video.
I don't think he's faster than me.
Right. How hard are you training?
I train every day.
Okay. How many hours a day are you training?
I take it serious. Listen. Well, listen, it's the whole day. The process goes through the whole day. I get up in the morning, do the road work. Then I go to the gym at 1. Then I go to the strength and conditioning guy. Then it starts all over again.
But in the end, I see Tyson's hand being raised in victory. A triumphant moment that cements his legacy as one of the greatest to ever step into the ring. He'll have shown the world that age is just a number, and that true champions never lose their fighting spirit. I mentioned many details of this saga, but there's something else very huge that is happening in the wait for this fight. So check out this deep dive where I'll tell you other rumors that are buzzing in the boxing community. You will learn new shocking claims that are attracting people's attention. Click on the screen to watch the deep dive, and thanks for watching this video.